There's a long white line running down that road, and where it stops, nobody knows. For many years, I've followed that line. To a man like me, it's a living sign.
Winding its way through the hills of Pennsylvania, Interstate 80 is the main artery of long-haul trucking stretching from the American Midwest to her eastern coastline. Through each season, in all kinds of weather, caravans of trucks make their way along Interstate 80, known to the drivers as the Asphalt Boulevard. Most of these long-haul drivers can tell you about a man named Apache Bill. He lives just off Interstate 80 in the rich farmland of western Pennsylvania. Truckers call him a pioneer of the highways, a man who drove the big rigs long before the modern interstates were built. He was an independent truck driver, hauling cattle, coal, or produce, or whatever load he could get to destinations in every part of the country. Apache Bill has retired from trucking now, and with the money he saved over the years, he has settled on a small farm in the hills above the highway. He raises shorthorn cattle and plants a few vegetables in gardens you can see as you drive by on Interstate 80. The truckers all know him, and in the summer or at harvest, they'll stop by for some of Bill's cucumbers or squash, and for the coffee that he always keeps hot on the stove for visitors. His farm keeps Bill close to the trucking life, to the road that he traveled for so many years, and to that breed of men who make their living behind the wheel of a 40-ton, 5-axle diesel truck.
We sure got a mess of snow around here now. Makes me think of way back in the years, early years, before, well, there wasn't no snowplows like there is today. You get out in the snow, you wouldn't be able to go, oh boy, you get monkeying around and sweating and swearing and trying to get a load someplace and get stuck in the snow and have to get out, put chains on, and, man, beat it and beat it. There was no hotel, there was no motels, there was no gas stations. There was gas stations, but they were a long ways in between. And you couldn't, you had problems with the earlier trucks. They weren't like the trucks today. You could go for, oh, heck, lots of times, maybe just to go 50 miles, it would, yeah, you'd have 10, 15 stops. You have to fix this, you have to fix that, change tires, and keep figuring out how you could run from one place to another to get, you'd be sure getting gas. You'd have gasoline. Hey, you could, well, you always had to carry 4 or 5 spare tires because you never could depend on them. There wasn't no gas stations to fix a tire for you. You had to fix it yourself. Your truck broke down, you worked on it. It was a way of life. Everybody had to be their own mechanic. Look at the guys that leave from New York and head for California. Why, they don't, maybe they can go the whole way across and never have a thought about any mechanical failure or any stuff like that. If they do get a flat tire, they go in and they call, somebody comes out and changes it for them. Them days, they stayed with you until you was ready to go. Even though their load was late or whatever, they would say that their outfit broke down or like that. So that whenever you left to go somewhere, you always tried to get somebody going that way or maybe part way. What it was called wildcatting then. Drive all night, because then days driving at night was much easier because there wasn't nothing to bother you. You get 2 or 3 fellows going together. They would run and they would go along. And come daylight, have one of them army camping cots and get her out, put her under the bed, curl up, go to sleep, and then sleep till afternoon, go get something to eat or get your lunch out and eat it. Get on the road again, go. That's the way of life for a trucker then. But when you, today, on these interstates, truckers, they go from one truck stop to the next. I don't think they always go there for meals, I used to go and look at the mini skirts or something like that. I think that's the big, well, that's all that's on a trucker's mind anyhow, I guess. But many and many a trip I've hauled and just break even. I never actually really figured on making money. I just, because I like to do it, that's all. You know? Of course, as young men, and when you make depression, when you made $5, boy, you had a lot of money, that's for sure. And a whole day's work for a lot of people was only $1. I've had a lot of good friends trucking. When you've got a trucker friend, he'll do more for you than most anybody else. You're like a family. I'm perfectly happy. I've got my trucking buddies going up and down the cotton picking road here, and they blow their whistle at me, and I'm happy because, and then some of them come in once in a while. Hey, give me some of them there little wee cucumbers you got. And I go down and I pick that biggest cotton pickers I got, and I say, they're the little one. I think the farm had a stronger pull on me than almost anything. I like to see things grow. And I had actually a sweet potato growing in water in my truck one time, hanging from the ceiling. And it could bind down in a truck. I actually did, because I like to see green stuff growing. And it's crazy when you stop and think of it, but I guess all truckers are crazy. But I like to see things grow. And when you're a trucker and you got a cow that's going to have a calf, or 2 or 3 or 4 cows are going to have a calf, you're out on the road, you're worrying about it. You're actually worrying about that, and you get to beat your butt to get back so you can. But if you happen to be there when that cow has her calf and you say it's nice and good shape and healthy, oh boy, you're ready to go back on the road again. My grandmother, she was Apache Indian, and she used to like to ride horses, and I would ride with her all the time, just a little fella, and I have my first recollections of anything I imagine was my grandmother. Oh, I'm about 6 years old, and I had a hankering I wanted to ride horses, and she decided that I was too little, but I kept after her to ride horses. So, out in the barnyard, a whole bunch of horses out there, and she just throwed me up on one, and oh, did I get a ride. I went down, I was all covered with horse manure, dust, dirt, but I had a ball, and I didn't bawl either. I got back up, and she throwed me on another one until I learned to ride. Of all my experiences in life, I think about them. Trucking was one of the things that, I don't know why, but back in those days, a trucker was looked up to. He was called King of the Road, Master of the World. When a guy goes past in that truck, and oh, he's belting her down the road there, he got a big load on, he's worrying about getting to wherever he's getting that cotton picking off and getting his green stamps, but whenever that guy goes past you and he toot toot and waves at you, you get a good feeling. Oh, I do it a lot of time. I go out there, I'll be doing something out there, I'll sit down out in the field, and man, they just continually toot toot. They go by and wave, I wave at them all, I don't know them. I can imagine maybe if I was out there on the road and those guys were working in the field or doing something like I was doing, and I tooted the horn at them, they'd wave and that. So I appreciate it.
On the 18-wheeler, 50 feet long, those wheels to me seem to hum a song for all the kids. I blow my horn, they all love to hear that diesel moan.
Oh boy, if I was just back doing that again, I'd be happy, but I know I couldn't do it. But it's something like getting something in your blood that every time you hear an air horn or have one blow at you, oh boy, you just get that hankering to be back on it, that's all. You know you're not capable, at least I'm not capable of doing it anymore, but I sure like to. Just them thing like the rest of them for a tired trucker. Well, a lot of them have asked me why why I give it up? I got tired of it. And it just said, rest home for a tired trucker. And I am tired. Real tired. Well, he had it all up. He ain't got nothing in the end anyway, except the memories and thoughts of what, oh boy, I wish I'd have done this. I wish I'd have done that. And then, but when you get as old as I am, well, it's just like getting a surprise. I think every morning I wake up, it's a surprise. It's a surprise for me to wake up. When, it's funny when people talk about things when you're old. I guess you get old and all you got left is memories. It takes quite a while when you do. I know when you quit trucking, or when you just say, that's it, I quit, I'm no more, the hell with it. That's getting too hard. That feeling that there's something in blood there, yeah, too, but I mean, you seem like there's something mixed with it that wants to make you wants to make you go, wants to make you do this, wants to make you go. Maybe you're not capable of running that rig, but you can always put yourself up there behind the wheel mentally.
Someday I'll reach the end of that line, as sure as you're a bone. It'll come my time, put a steering wheel in the palm of my hand, and the Lord will know I'm a truck driving man. Put a steering wheel in the palm of my hand, and the Lord will know I'm a truck driving man.
I'd say this, no matter what it is, a trucker is capable of it. If he gets a half a chance, he'll more than likely do it.
There's a long white line running down that road.